mid-December. And as the COVID crisis continues, the restaurant industry is facing a very dire situation with predictions that thousands of restaurants in our state could close by next year. Our Julie DUNMIRE has a perspective from one restaurant group owner that is asking for what he's calling some middle ground. Julie.
Yeah, Annie, if it's possible to find it. The owner of Matchbox Diner here in Easttown told me earlier today he had to close this restaurant as well as all the other restaurants in his small restaurant group because to-go orders aren't just enough to sustain the business right now. And to top that all off, if his employees were still working and they were still open, they wouldn't be able to collect unemployment despite, of course, that drastic reduce in hours with just doing to-go orders. Again, he just tells me that there's got to be a better way to find a solution. In the center of a deserted downtown Saugatuck, we met with CHAITIN, a man who finds himself caught in the middle.
We're a small group compared to many and a big group compared to individual operators.
Eric owns Mermaid Bar in Saugatuck and Matchbox in Grand Rapids, along with a few other restaurants.
I think a lot about sort of the middle-sized operators like us and how hard it is. And then the large operators like Gilmore and up and how it must be devastating. And for the single operators, their challenges. So it really hits everybody.
Being stuck between a rock and a hard place himself.
There's an awful lot of, as we all know, politics involved, and almost as if there's a game of chicken being played.
Has Eric asking the people who make the decisions to at least make some.
We've lost about 2,000 restaurants in the state of Michigan that aren't going to reopen.
And that's just from this year alone. Eric says just opening back up isn't the solution, saying the damage has been done. And right now, there's no plan yet from state or federal legislators on how to undo it.
If this goes till spring, we're going to lose another 6,000. And then you can do the math as to how that affects grocery shopping and mortgages and rents and et cetera, et cetera.
For Eric, he'd like to see less arguing about what to do to save his industry.
I think the feds have got to, and the local legislators have got to come up with a plan.
Saying he'd like to stop feeling so stuck in the middle.
And it's totally out of our control. So I don't see anyone asking for a handout, but I think this game of chicken between the decision makers, the folks that we vote into office, has got to stop. And Eric says another good way that you can support those locally owned restaurants, even while they are closed, is to go ahead and purchase a gift card from one of them and use that when they open back up. He says, too, that this MRLA lawsuit that's going on today right now is no silver bullet, that if they are given the go-ahead to go ahead and resume indoor dining at 50% capacity, that's still, enough to put them back. And if they were to open back up completely, he feels like, not enough people would feel comfortable going to restaurants right now, given the current state of the pandemic. So it really is a multifaceted issue that's it's going to need a multi-part solution. Live in Grand Rapids, Julie DUNMIRE, Fox 17 News.